Right, let's go into our first topic. Should councils stop collecting overflowing bins? Get your calls in now. So bins in Belfast soon won't be emptied if they are so full of rubbish that their lids are unable to close. From next month, the City Council will tag bins that are too full as a warning to households, and then from June, any that are overflowing will be ignored, forcing people to wait a whole another 2 weeks until the next collection. It follows concerns that spillages and falling objects were damaging equipment and putting workers at risk. Belfast City Council has also introduced safer bin lorries that won't lift larger objects, including open bins, to prevent staff from being crushed. Is this a good plan that should be adopted everywhere? Cherry, what are your thoughts?
Georgie, I'm sorry, but if you've had a party and you've had everyone at your house and you've got tons and tons of rubbish, you should be responsible for sorting it out, not the poor bin men who've already doing such a good job. If your bins are overflowing, that is your responsibility. We've all got great big bins. We all know how big they are. It's not a great big surprise. I'm sorry, if your bin is like, when you're like shoving it down, if it's half open, take some out and look after it. Deal with your own rubbish.
Okay, so you think people should take that to the tip?
Yeah, take it to the tip, or ask your lovely neighbour. We're all friends with our neighbours. Ask your lovely neighbour, do you mind if I put some in your bin? That's why we should all be friends with our neighbours.
So does your bin never have a raised lid then?
Audrey, all the time. I'm constantly doing
so
this. The only reason I go to the gym is so that I can push my rubbish down.
Well, I might go to the gym and put you in a rubbish bin, I'm afraid, because I think that your opinions are for the bin. Because I'm sorry, you're absolutely talking nonsense. This is so let's define what an overflowing bin actually is. I am obsessed with my bins, right? Because my council has now, because of the climate emergency, started just to collect rubbish once a fortnight, because of course that's going to really affect the climate emergency. This is an excuse in order to reduce council services and to save money. An overflowing bin by the council is considered to be a bin lid that is 1 or 2 inches that doesn't close. Now, what do they think is going to happen to that rubbish? Since the bin collections have halved where I'm living, fly tipping has absolutely skyrocketed because residents don't know what to do with their rubbish. This rubbish, you said, the words you used, and I say this with love, was, they should take it out and look after it. What are they going to do? Take it home and raise it? Send it to school? No. What you do is you need to dispose of it. Now, again, that's going to either lead to fly tipping. It's going to mean also that it is allowing a council to get away with their basic responsibilities. And this absolute claptrap about, a bin lid being slightly open is unsafe for a bin collector. What a load of nonsense. My bin collectors, I would be thrilled if every now and then some of the rubbish they actually collect ends up in the truck rather than on the street, which is where it ends up most of the time.
Do you want me to come to your house and push your rubbish down? Because I've got the really good technique.
You've got a good technique.
I've got really good technique.
At breaking down your boxes before putting them in.
I'm like the queen of breaking down boxes, Georgie.
This is a basic council function, and this is nonsense in order for them to try and swerve what we pay an exorbitant amount of council tax for.
But I see bins that have been overfilled, they're still open, you've got great big bags of rubbish, and obviously overnight the rats get in, the foxes get in regularly on my street. There's tons of rubbish where the foxes got in.
The bins
should be closed. There's a lid for a reason. If you've got too much rubbish, either ask your neighbour, take it to the tip, sort out the collection yourself.
Or perhaps if the bins are overflowing to that extent, the council should be increasing bin collections rather than... I'm so sick of this attitude. Another council that I heard of, the bins in parks were overflowing, right? In the local park. So the council said, all right, well, we're going to solve that problem by no longer collecting the rubbish from the local park so that people will have to take their own rubbish home. That's not what happened. It just ended up that there were piles of rubbish all over the park. This solution to problems being, well, we're no longer going to actually engage with residents or carry out our basic duties is not the way forward. If there's too much rubbish, collect it more often. That's what we pay for.
I think you're very conscientious, Cherry. You think, how can I make sure this rubbish fits in my bin? I'm sure there's many people that will just go, it doesn't fit, I'll try and leave it out, it won't be collected. They then have to wait another 2 weeks for collection. If they already have that attitude, it probably means they're not going to be doing anything else with it. So then we're going to end up with our streets looking like poor old Birmingham streets.
Rancid and there are rats all over the streets.
I completely agree that the council should be doing regular collections and should understand the needs of that community, absolutely. But we all have a part to play in keeping our streets tidy. And if we can help by making sure sure that we pack our boxes down, really compress the rubbish, make sure that lid is closed. We've also got to like take into consideration that the bin men have also got to load it onto the lorry, and if it's half open, that makes it
is dangerous.
It's really
not dangerous.
A man was crushed because the sensors didn't work properly because the lid wasn't working, and he died.
So that was an issue with the sensors and not the lid, and it's one absolutely tragic death without a doubt. But we're going to have rubbish-strewn streets for the next few months or years because of one tragic accident. My council, you say engage with residents. My council decided that it was going to do this fortnightly bin collection.
So is that fortnightly for both your general waste and also your recycling?
No, just general waste. The recycling is weekly. The general waste is once a fortnight. You've got to decipher which one they're going to take at which time. They did a consultation on it. They asked me more questions on my gender identity in the consultation than they did about my bins. I mean, there were 4 pages about my sexuality, my gender identity.
We have a fortnightly collection, and it's more than sufficient.
Yes. Do you think it forces people to think a little bit more about how they can create less waste?
Well, I don't mind recycling. What I loathe is this it's greenwashing. It's this idea that either safety or the climate is being used as a tool in which to punish or tax people. And I'm afraid that is what this is. Obviously, if you're going to recycle, then if you want to recycle, that's a great thing. Stick a bit of cardboard in your bin, save the world, even though it probably all ends up in landfill anyway, but that's another question altogether, because I'm quite a cynic about these things. However, I'm sorry, a basic council function, if the bin lid is slightly open, that means that there is rubbish in that bin that needs collecting. You do not solve that problem by turning your back and going to the next house.
Well, you can always put your rubbish in my bin.
That's an offer I didn't expect to be getting today, and I will happily take you up on it.
You are welcome.
Let's speak to Gary, who's from Belfast. Gary, is this started yet?
My dear, I think I have no problem with household waste. I think the bin men do a great job, but I think we should put it on to the retailers. If you buy a new bed, a new cooker, a new fridge or whatever, large goods, I think the shop that you buy that off should take it away and bring you the new one.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, lots of those, especially online, when you do online shopping, they offer those services. But I guess what you're speaking about there is fly tipping, where you're actually leaving, big objects out on your road, which is illegal everywhere. How do you feel about if your bin's just even open by this much, it just won't be collected for another 2 weeks?
I think that the guys are quite right. I remember back in the 70s when the bin men used to throw the bin over their shoulder. And in that bin, you had the ashes from your fire, which weighed about themselves. And you used to jump on it to make as much room in it as possible. And those poor men must have suffered with the weight they carried all day. The new guys have got it easy with the bin lorries. I'm not saying it's an easy job, but I think really we should go back to the retailer. Say I'm buying a couch there for £1,000. I've got an old one in the house. I need to get rid of the old one. You should take that away.
Do you think the council then are maybe just using this as an excuse not to collect that particular bin?
Listen, I think that the council workers, I live in a rough area, and the council workers in my area do a great job. But there's a lot of fly dumping, and I think these lousy people that throw mattresses and couches and anything else on the street, they're just lowlife, and it's disgusting. I praise the bin men for the job they do, but I think that the retailers need a bit of responsibility here. They know if I want a new cooker or a new couch, I've got an old one to throw away. They should take that away and sort it out themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're making millions of pounds profit on it.
Thank you very much, Gary. Let's hear from Jemima from Glasgow. Hi, Jemima.
Hello. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are your thoughts on this then? Do you think the council...
Yes, well, can I just say something? Way back in the 70s, my brother worked on the bins. I mean, I'm 70-odd now, and he was just a young man. And they had to carry the bins on their backs through the closes. And it didn't matter how heavy they were. They had to be emptied. So I mean, I think today...
So do you think health and safety's gone mad then?
Yeah, it's gone crazy. And I think that today that should be the case, because they're getting paid well for their jobs, and it really should be done right. And that makes me so angry. especially with all these new bins we're getting today. And you're putting, I mean, I'm 75, and sometimes you put the wrong thing in the bin, and they'll not take it because there's one thing in it that's wrong.
Yeah, and then what do you do? Do you manage to sort it out, or do you just have to wait until the next collection in 2 weeks' time?
Have to wait till the next collection.
That's the thing. I think we'll just see so much litter everywhere if bins aren't collected. I just
do
don't.
really
Not
feel
everyone has a car to go to the tip.
And I really feel for her. That's really frustrating when the bin isn't collected because you've put one wrong thing in.
Yeah.
I really understand that feeling.
And let's not forget, this is about, as you have mentioned, overflowing bins. But they are also, every couple of years, the council brings you a new bin, which is smaller than the last one. My bathroom pedal bin is, I swear, bigger than the bin that the council have given me.
You just need a gigantic skip. That's what you need.
As long as they collect it, absolutely great. And you know what? I'd even let my neighbours use it if it stops fly. You know, I complained about fly tipping that was happening in my area. And you know what they did? I said, you need to put cameras up. The council put a sign up saying, stop fly tipping. Someone ripped the sign down and fly tipped the sign. And so
I'm not even surprised.
So, I'm sorry, like, this is councils that are just not doing
They
their
fly
basic
tipped the actual
function.
sign.
They fly tipped the don't fly tip sign. They ripped it down and threw it on the floor with all of their fly tipped rubbish.
At least I've got a sense of humour.
Oh, well, I know I shouldn't laugh. It's a bit depressing, really. Harvey from Manchester, what are your thoughts on this?
I get very stressed out every bin day because it's not that I always try to keep it to a level that, you know, it's okay to take it away. But they don't even empty the bins properly. Those machines they've got, they don't do a proper job.
So
And
things are
also,
stuck at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's annoying.
It's all loose because I wash it out. But the thing is, the worst thing is, it's 76 almost. It's like hide and seek. I'm sure they're playing games because I can never find my bin afterwards.
It's true. It's true. Your bin's always halfway up the thing. Yeah, you make very good points there, Harvey, and frustrating. Thank you for your call.
I put a sticky number on mine.
Yeah.
I have. I put a big sticky number so I know, because I don't want someone else's
You
bin.
should get a big picture of your face and stick it on.
Free advertising for
They'll
you.
definitely collect it then. They'll be like, throw that in the back of the van.
Let's get one more call. Wayne from Derbyshire, what are your thoughts?
Hello, Petal. Good morning.
Good
How are you?
morning.
I think our bins aren't too bad, actually, around here. I mean, I don't like overflowing bins because, I mean, I tried, my recycle bin is more full than my black bin. And if I ain't got enough room in my bin, I will just bag it and leave it till next time it goes back in. It shouldn't be overflowing.
That sounds like a very sensible solution, and sort of what Jerry was saying, that actually if everyone's responsible for their own rubbish, then we won't be in any problems.
No, exactly. It's been responsible. My flat on all my boxes, all my cans are crushed, so whatever goes in my bin is as small as possible,
Yeah.
so I can get as much as I can.
That's definitely where I fall down. I'm a bit lazy. I just sometimes throw a big cardboard box in and I think, why is my bin full already? And it's my own fault.
I think Wayne and I should do a course, give people courses on how to compact your rubbish.
Exactly.
That's my new career. I quit.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Wayne. Now, don't forget, later we'll be asking if there should be more 20-mile-per-hour roads. But now...